Is Lisa in town? Is she here?
I think so, right? Okay. So Lynn was at Southern Hills Country Club, so was Lester. We were all there for Marshall Carter's Christmas thing.
All the officers are doing their own check.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that right?
And they, when's going to be their briefing?
January 6th, he starts. Press conference is going to be January 8th.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday, January 8th.
Is the press conference.
Tonight is on. More to come.
We are missing one counselor.
I think he's on
Okay.
break.
We'll call the Broken Arrow Municipal meeting to order. We have invocation by Reverend Palin.
It's a city council meeting,
What did I say?
municipal.
Would you pray with me, please? Creating God, whose presence is always with us, we come today asking your blessing on the city that we call home, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I give you praise and blessing for our mayor, city manager, the city council, our first responders, and all those who work for our city. Help us to remember that it takes all of us to keep the city thriving, that we cannot do this on our own. I am mindful of the responsibility this council has for the well-being of all who live and work in Broken Arrow. I am grateful for the leadership the council offers. Help them to remember that they make decisions for all of us. As we are in this season of love, joy, and hope, let us remember that some of us struggle with pain, sorrow, and loneliness. It is in spite of these things that we continue to move forward. Give us comfort and all your presence to be felt by those who need your support. We acknowledge our need for your presence in our lives. Help us to reach out to you rather than to try to do it by ourselves. I ask your blessing on the community of Broken Arrow. Help the council to be as wise as those seeking the babe of Bethlehem those many years ago. Allow us to see the many blessings that you gift us with. Allow us to be neighbors who truly care for one another, in spite of the many ways we could be called different. Allow us to celebrate our unique differences and share our authentic self with each other. Help us to be a community united in purpose that allows all to understand that they have dignity and worth. In the name of God, who came to earth to dwell among us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am. Roll call.
Green. Here. Ford.
Here?
Parks.
Here.
Wimpy.
Here. Please stand and join Vice Mayor Parks for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Salute. Pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Item 5 is consideration of appointment. 5A, consideration, discussion, and possible action by City Council to appoint a person to fill the vacancy in the office of council for Ward Number 3 for the Broken Arrow City Council. So at our last meeting, we tabled, and then we're going to have further discussion today. Well, hold on. Sorry. Sorry, I was on the wrong one. I see some of the candidates have joined us here today. So did anyone have any further discussion that they wanted to have? I feel we need to fill the seat. It's 8 council meetings that would be left open, so.
I'm actually ready to make a nomination. I do want to thank everyone that signed up. Definitely, you put your name out there, and it's not an easy thing to do, and we had a lot of really good candidates. It's going to be, it was a hard decision, but in my heart, I always feel like someone needs to know the community to be able to represent the community that's already involved, and I would like to nominate David Pickle.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. So we can go to a vote. I was, and I love David Pickle. I would have nominated Jarrett Colley. So I'm not sure. We can go to a vote and see how the vote turns.
Right. I would think so.
Yes, you have a motion and a second,
Yep.
so you have a pending motion for a vote.
Are you gonna?
You ready for me?
Yeah.
Call roll. Green.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes?
Parks.
Yes.
Wimpy.
Okay. Well, then I'll vote yes for David Pickle as well. So, yep. Okay. So, with that motion and that vote, Trevor.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Pickle, if I can come forward.
I didn't see him in the audience.
And I was like, I hope he's here.
I know. I didn't see him out in the audience. So.
I saw him, I went back there.
We have 2 oaths of office that we're going to administer. The first will be a loyalty oath, the second will be an oath of office. Okay. You're allowed to either swear or affirm. And so if you'll just repeat after me, if you raise your right hand. Okay. Okay. This was the loyalty oath. So I state your name.
David Pickle,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Oklahoma,
of the state of Oklahoma,
and that I will faithfully discharge my duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a council member
as a council member
for the city of Broken Arrow
for the city of Broken Arrow
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
All right, and this is the second oath. This is the oath of office.
Okay.
I
I,
state your name.
David Pickle,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the state of Oklahoma,
the Constitution of the state of Oklahoma,
and that I will not
and that I will not
knowingly receive,
knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable things
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear or affirm
Further swear or affirm
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the council member
of a council member
for the city of Broken Arrow
of the city of Broken Arrow
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Take a picture.
Yeah. Aaron will take a picture.
We're coming down.
So I'm gonna try to work around this podium here.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, I didn't. Neither was I. You want one over here? No, that's fine. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
It takes long.
No. Okay. So Justin, you're gonna help him out over there?
Oh, no, I'm letting him learn like I did. I got him. I'll take him under my wing.
Take care of me. I know you will.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, item 7A on the consent agenda. Oh, are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as it stands.
Second?
Have a motion and a second, roll call.
Pickle,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes,
Wimpy.
Yes. Item 9A, public hearings, appeals, presentation, recognitions, and awards. 9A is presentation of a citation by Oklahoma State Representative Ross Ford to the City of Broken Arrow Utilities and Street and Stormwater Departments for the emergency repair of the water line break that went under Aspen Avenue. Councilor Ford.
Well, Representative Ford is going
Well,
to.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
It had your name.
I was gonna do, he was gonna be in Oklahoma City. He wasn't
Oh,
sure if he
gotcha.
was gonna be back in time, but he's here.
You may do it yourself.
Yes, he can do it
Yes.
himself.
Thank you. Congratulations on the appointment. And Ms. Mayor and Mr. Spurgeon and council, thank you for allowing me to be here again. And I just want to take a few minutes to say just how proud I am of all of our city employees, and especially our Broken Arrow Utilities and the Street and Sewer Department, because they are the unsung heroes in our city, I believe, because, here we had a water break in the middle of the evening. They were there, it was pouring down rain, but they continued to work throughout the night to get the water line repaired. And I just am so proud of our city employees that I just felt it was only necessary to present this citation. So there's two citations that are identical, just have different names on it. So I'm going to read the first citation, and then I'll read the names that were involved in it off of the second one. And it says, the State of Oklahoma, citations and congratulations, Broken Arrow Utilities Department. Whereas on Thursday, November 7th, 2024, it was noticed that a water was coming up through the pavement at the intersection of Gary Street and Aspen Avenue. After calling in the break within an hour of seeing the leak, the 8-inch water line crossing Aspen Avenue at Gary Street failed, and an excessive amount of water encompassed the roadway at the southwest corner of Gary Street and Aspen. Utilities crew responded immediately and started working to expose the line and isolate the break, working in rotating shifts to complete this work while combating a constant extreme weather condition. And whereas it was found that the entire line had failed underneath Aspen Avenue, and the volume of water and pressure of the water line break, Aspen Avenue had incurred significant damages, rendering the roadway impassable. Crews were able to complete the repairs to the water line and initially backfill on Friday, and on Saturday, the utilities and street and stormwater crews returned to the site early the following morning to get the water line trench backfilled, the roadway area cleaned up, traffic control set up, and temporary street plate, a temporary steel plate placed over the impacted area to get the roadway back open to 2 lanes of traffic. And whereas those utilities department who were involved in the work in bringing Aspen Avenue back to working order are to be congratulated. Timothy Robbins, Jerry Heinwinkel, Brandon Parks, Travis Schumanen, and Tom Kimbrough, Bruce Campbell, John Baldwin, Chris Hauk, James Bowles, Vetus Braden, Walker Brown, Brian Fott, Philip Gilvin, Stephen Head, Hunter Hopper, and Gene Martin, Justin Mintz, Gabriel Osterloo, Orlando Perez, Gary Redmond, Elvis Riviera, Talon Wheeler, Cameron Yeager, John Emery, David Lloyd, Zach Gahn, I believe. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Scott Baker, Randy Cheapwood, Andy Whitson, Marion, and Corey McCracken. And whereas it is fitting and proper that the State of Oklahoma House of Representatives, acting on behalf of the citizens of the great state of Oklahoma, does hereby commend and congratulate the Broken Arrow Utilities Department on their teamwork in a time of emergency and extended our highest regards. Now therefore, pursuant to the motion of Representative Ross Ford, the Oklahoma legislature extends to Broken Arrow Utilities Department sincere congratulations and direct this citation to be presented. So. And then we have the
Representative.
Yes.
When we finish this.
Oh, when it's finished?
Yeah. We'll take a picture, representative,
yeah.
with the directors from the departments.
Okay. And then we have the exact same citation, so I won't bother bore you again by reading it. But and the streets. This is for Broken Arrow Streets and Stormwater, and their employees were for the Street and Water Department who were involved were working Aspen Avenue back to working order. Congratulated Timothy Wilson, Zach Smith, Mac Durham, Jeff Johnson, Kenneth Farmer, Larry Brewer, Kyle Coleman, Michael Jack, Mark Jackson, Jamal Wheat, Will Remington, Philip Oliveira, Herbert Moore, Kenneth Farmer, Ty Kellett, Cadron Taylor, Matt Johnson, Jerry Gagel, Sean Edwards, Timothy Sanders, Joseph Olden, and David Hurd, and Matt Duran. And again, you know, they deserve to be recognized, and, you know, acting on my motion, present them this citation. So, again, I just cannot reiterate that, just like to reiterate that, just how proud I am to be a Broken Arrowin, and the city workers that we have here are top notch and the best that you could find anywhere in the state, and dedicated. So, thank you.
Mayor, if I could, council, could I have Tim Wilson and Tim Robbins, if he's here, to come down so they can be recognized on behalf of their departments with the picture with the representative, and make sure that they'll pass it along to their departments and their respective employees that worked. Get a picture.
The Tims.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want to get with them? Which way are you going? I guess Aaron's not in here.
So who's taking the picture?
Okay, maybe face us. I'll do it.
I can go down.
You're a good picture.
Oh, Norm's gonna go.
Oh, Norm's
Okay.
got it, okay. I was like, someone out there.
Somebody's got it.
You thought about me?
No.
And thank you very much. Yes. Thank you, Ross.
Yeah, you're right about that. We've got the best of the best here, that's for sure. Okay, let's see. Item 10, citizens' opportunity to address the council. There are none. General council business, 11A, consideration, discussion, and possible appointment of 3 representatives and 1 alternate representative to the Indian Nations Council of Governments, otherwise known as INCOG, Board of Directors, and 1 representative and 1 alternative to the INCOG General Assembly, each for a 2-year term beginning January 2025. So we tabled this until we had a full council to place people on a committee. So I am now on the nominating committee, so I would love to remain on INCOG. And then, is it normally, the city manager is normally on there, so then you guys can discuss this among yourselves, so you.
Well, and I've been the alternate, and so, I mean, I would be glad to step up to be on the board if that's, what the council would like, and I'd be okay if I'm not. So, I mean, either way. It's very important, INCOG's a very important thing to have city representation, so I'm glad that we do have, I did have to go to some meetings because you maybe couldn't go, or Christy couldn't go, and so I think it's important definitely to continue with the substitute as well.
Well, I've been on the board before too, and I enjoyed, they're important for our community, they're important for northeastern Oklahoma, period. And also you get to meet a lot of people, but I wouldn't mind being the alternate on there if you want to step up from there. I don't have any problem with that.
That works for me. Yeah.
We also need someone that will serve on the General Assembly as a representative, and that's just 1 meeting a year, usually in the summer, which is a really good meeting. There's always a great speaker with regard to what's happening around the state. And so we also need someone to serve as that.
I'm happy to do that, or if Mr. Pickle wants to do it. I've worked on several committees with them and worked with them on the county level as well. So I'm very familiar with the folks there.
Yeah.
Okay. Just one? Yep. And 1 alternative.
Alternate?
One alternate with
Alternate for the General Assembly.
General Assembly. You want to be an alternate?
I would love to be an
Oh, there we go.
He's like, why not?
Welcome to council.
Welcome to council.
Okay.
Do you need that in the way of a motion, all of that?
Yes.
Yes, please, if you'd state the motion and state who's going to be in which position, please.
So I will make the motion that we have our 3 actual members be Mr. Spurgeon, Mayor Deborah Wimpy, and Councilor Lisa Ford, with the alternate being Johnny Parks, and the general member being myself, and alternate David Pickle.
Okay.
Councilor David Pickle.
Yeah, second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle?
Aye.
Green?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Wimpy?
Yes. All right, item B, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of and authorization to execute a professional consultant agreement with Narrate for the design of the Operations Center Administration Building remodel project. Charlie Bright.
evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, Mr. Spurgeon, and congratulations, Councilmember Pickle.
Thank you.
My name is Charlie Bright. I am the Director of Engineering and Construction. Before you tonight is a design contract with Nariot Design to start the design process for what we're calling the Operations Center Admin Building. As you guys might recall, the governing body, probably a little over a year ago or so, we approved a master plan for space study needs across the department or across the whole city, which is where we're going to kind of move employees and stuff in the future to account for space. As you know, I think we're pretty much out of office space in this building. My building over at the operations building, we are completely out of office space. And so it's kind of a plan of where we're getting office space and where we're going to be moving individuals in the future. This is just another piece of that. The plan ultimately called for the administration side of both the streets and stormwater team and the utilities team, who we just saw up here, all going into what is today known as the streets and stormwater building. And this contract is with an architecture firm to get the design started on that. Really just, I'm putting it on general tonight just to make you aware kind of that we're getting started on that project with the goal of maybe sometime next year going into the remodel and doing construction. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Any questions? Well, for Councilor Pickle, one of the things we've got a lot of, if you want to explain kind of just real briefly why we're doing this, like the inventory of city-owned buildings that we had, and we did a.
Yeah, so in our master plan study last year, so we have City Hall obviously, and we have no open office spaces in City Hall. We have the operations building, which is kind of closer to Kenosha and Aspen Street. That's where my team is staffed, and solid waste is staffed there. Ryan Bay's General Services is staffed there. And I think we have one open spot now because we had some people shift around. Over on the site on First Street, we have what we call the Streets and Stormwater Building. It's tied to our jail and administration center. And that's where just the Streets and Stormwater Department is today. But we've gotten some extra space because a little over a year ago, I believe, we purchased what was known as the Windstream Building behind that. And it's under construction today for us to remodel that. And a lot of our field crews are going to be ultimately leaving the Stark Building. It's hard to describe where that is, but it's over near Rama, behind Rama. A lot of our field crews will be leaving that area where the Stark is, and then our streets and stormwater guys will also be moving, and they'll be taking up that new space in the Windstream Building. And that, like I said, that's under construction currently. And once more of those people move out, it'll create some more space. And the goal is that with this administration building up front, we kind of clean up the building and make it more forward-facing to where the administrative sides of those departments is more open to the public. If you need access or you want to go talk to those departments from the public, you have a place where you can see them, walk in and talk to them. So I hope that answers a little bit of it, but there's a lot more detail we could go into. But
Is this more of a consolidation of space or just the needed space?
It's not so much a consolidation because, and that was part of the space study report. We have people spread out kind of all over, and we own a lot of space all over. The cost of consolidating would be extreme. And so this is really just more efficiently using the space that we have now that we've acquired new space. So the new space that we acquired gave us the flexibility to move some people around. And before we did all of those changes, we did the master plan to kind of make sure we were using the space we had available in the most efficient way possible. So now that we have new space, people are moving, and this is just the next step in most efficiently using the space we currently own.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve item 24-1589.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Wimpy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. At 11C, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding PUD 1815-2024, major amendment, the enclave at Southern Trails. Let's see, Rocky Hinkle.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, members of council, Rocky Hinkle, Community Development Director. Before you tonight is discussion and possible action regarding PUD 1815-2024, which is a major amendment to a PUD. 1815-2024 is an application of proposed commercial mixed-use and multifamily development on about 20.49 acres. This PUD has 3 designated development areas on the site. Development A is about 7.88 acres. It is a CG, Commercial General Zoning District, except where modified by the proposed PUD major amendment. Development Area B is 0.76 acres, Zone CM, Community Mixed Use. And Development Area C is 11.4 acres, zoned RM, Residential Multifamily. The chart is in your packet as well. That gives you the differences between the proposed PUD and the existing PUD that's in place now, which is 126-2022 and BAZ 125-2022, which was approved by City Council on January 3rd, 2023. The applicant is here as well to answer any questions.
Were there any major changes? I looked through the changes. It looked like it was just kind of moving stuff around from the time we voted for it before.
Yeah, that was adding the mixed-use component was kind of the major change.
Okay. I do note that I particularly liked it just because you don't, and I'm not opposed to our comp plan, but a lot of times you see a big commercial area right on the intersection, and you're not going to see that here, surrounded by apartments on the backside of it, according to the comp plan, and you're not going to see that here. It's just going to be smaller, you know what I mean, lot type deal. So I'm looking forward to maybe it being constructed in the future.
I did watch the planning commission meeting. Do we have people speaking tonight?
We have 2 to speak in favor.
Okay, I was going to say because it seemed like they were almost to an agreement, you know, the neighborhood and them. So I was wondering if the speakers were for it or against it. And on behalf of Rotary too, that's the mile we clean up, and that area is the hardest mile to clean up. So I'll be really glad to see this developed as well.
Yeah, it's amazing what we find out there.
Yes.
Constantly, yeah.
Do you want to hear from the applicant or?
Did his mother come to speak this time, or?
What did I miss?
No.
Okay. Yes, I'd like to hear from him.
All right.
She did a good job.
She did speak.
She did speak.
That's right.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilors. I'm Eric Enyart with Tanner Consulting at 5323 South Lewis Avenue, Tulsa. Staff did a great job presenting our application. We feel this is a major improvement with a real site plan, and it basically tidies up some of the details from the original conceptual site plan that you had. We are in agreement with the staff and Plan Commission recommendation for approval. So this one shows what was approved originally, and on the right is what we propose today. Essentially the same concept, slightly reoriented.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions for him? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
I've got 2 citizens wishing to speak in favor. Kent Garrett.
Hello.
Hello.
My name's Kent Garrett. I'm a resident in the Lakes at Rabbit Run, the addition that is to the south of this development on the other side of a buffer area there. We've had meetings with the developer, a committee of residents there in the Lakes of Rabbit Run, and we, so far as we've seen the plans that they've drawn up and the changes that they've made to address earlier concerns, we're satisfied with that, and we've got some other things that we're discussing, and that's going to be going back to Planning Commission to iron those things out. But so far, we like what we see with the quality of residents and commercial tenants that they're looking at. We think it'll be good.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stacy Harden.
My name is Stacy Harden, and I'll echo what Kent was saying a few minutes ago. I also live at the Lakes at Rabbit Run, and I was part of that group that met with the Perkins Development folks last week, and we sat down with them. We had a really great meeting. We shared our concerns about securing the safety of O, and I think that came up in one of our other meetings. And it turns out we have a lot of mutual interests. They were very sensitive to our concerns and agreed to work with us going forward to help manage the security there, whether it be fencing or whatever. So I can say that yes, we like what we see so far. We think they're going to be really great neighbors, and we look forward to working with them in the future.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any further discussion or questions of Rocky or applicant?
Well, I just appreciate the developer being able to talk to the residents. I mean, and I think they've had probably conversations throughout this whole process, but if other developers out there would do the same thing before it even comes to us or planning commission, I think they can sit down and have a good conversation and come to a pretty close agreement. So I'm glad it worked out, so.
Yep.
He has a point. Applicant, I believe.
I'm Mark Perkins with Perkins Development Corp. So yes, we met with the neighborhood, had a good conversation. One of their concerns was in regard to the boundary between our properties. That isn't as simple as many of these PUDs may, because there's a conservation easement there and there are other documents at play. But I understand where they're coming from, and you may or may not know this, but we have to come back before this body with a detailed site plan and elevations. So we're coming back again. And so what we kind of agreed to, even though we had a meeting of the minds, was that that we include that accommodation when we came back for a detailed site plan. But since the other elements that it turns out aren't controversial didn't come up today, if it's all the same to you guys, and I think the neighbors would appreciate it, we can go ahead and make those changes right now and just approve it and then put that issue to bed so we can just focus on the elevations next time. And so I sat down today and kind of drafted something that I feel like encapsulates what we discussed. And I don't know if you can turn that projector on, but.
Can we do this, Trevor?
Yes, you're able to do it as an amendment if it's approved or recommended by our planning staff. We've done this before where we've had additional requirements or changes to PUD. This body has the ability to do that. We do put on our notices of our agendas that all items are subject to amendment, and so I believe that would comply.
And
Is
are you in
planning already
agreement?
familiar with the amendments, the proposed amendments?
Planning staff.
Rocky?
We haven't seen them, so I have to.
Well, I don't think they'll be controversial. I think I can walk through it, and planning staff, it's something that was added actually on the fly last time, which is this small landscape buffer on the boundary. We're going to propose deleting that and replacing it with a fence that we think will both account for the conservation easement and provide the security they're looking for. And it's a simple, well, I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm happy to do it next time. I just thought that the neighbors might appreciate us going ahead and putting the issue to bed. And it'd also give us, a firm footing to just focus on the elevations and the detailed site plan and engineering, so.
So you're asking to add this to the language of the PUD?
Yeah, just delete that in red and just adding that to the PUD.
I feel more comfortable, just make sure that we review and bring it to you next.
Okay?
May I ask a question? Mark, is there a reason, is there something you need to do now, or the next meeting, council can consider it?
No, that was my original intent. I just thought
I don't know
that,
if there's a timing issue.
I don't think there's a timing issue. I just know that it's a priority for the neighbors. And I already made the commitment to them, but, this would formalize it.
Mayor, I would think the fact that he's made that commitment, just come back and actually take action next meeting, if you're okay. Let staff just check everything out and then come back on the 7th.
I appreciate your willingness to want to, make that commitment and get it out here, but at the same time, we need to make sure our staff has had adequate time to review it and
Sounds
make
good.
a well-informed decision.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you, sir.
any other questions?
I don't think so.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good deal.
I'd make a motion we approve PUD 001815-2024 per Planning Commission and staff's recommendation.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle?
I appreciate all the work the council has done on this one. There's a lot of tail on it, so I'd like to get myself caught up on a little bit, so I'll abstain from this one.
Green?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes?
Parks?
Yes.
Wimpy?
Yes. All right. There are no preview ordinances, no regular ordinances. Remarks by governing body members.
I had a couple of things, Mayor.
Okay.
One was the mayor asked me to,
See you later.
that kind of questions your, what your. We're going to talk about you guys.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Justin's leaving.
Sorry.
Wait till they make their application next time. Let's just get up and walk out. No, the mayor had asked me to sit in for her on Saturday in this Wreaths Across America event at our own cemetery. And I did and made a few comments at 11 o'clock. I let those there, and I think there was 75 to 100 people there to place the wreaths, and I was really excited about that. Veterans Day, it was just a little bit slack, maybe because our main street's so long, but when you get them all in one area, we had a lot of people, a lot of young people there on Saturday. So we had a few comments at 11 o'clock, and then they put the wreaths out, and it was really good. I let them know that the city's perspective, how much we appreciate, how much we work for the veterans at every turn in the road. Even put in a plug for our next bond issue coming up at that time. But anyway, so that went over well, but there's no extra charge for that, Mayor.
You're the vice mayor now.
You know,
so-
we did get a lot of invitations. I don't know if it's this Christmas or because I'm vice mayor, but I'm invited to everything. I usually don't go, but I show up once a week or twice a week, you know what I mean, to something. But it just so happened we had our granddaughter down for the ice skating on the Paws and Claws night. And I'm happy to report that even though that you see dogs nowhere in the city of Broken Arrow, there's a lot of dogs. And not only that, our dogs believe in Santa Claus. They were waiting in line with their owners in tow for, I bet, 300 or 400 feet to get their picture taken with Santa Claus. So that's something to note,
Yeah.
that our dogs are really tied in there with Santa Claus. So it
Our
was a really
citizens
great,
love their animals.
it was a great turnout, and they do love their animals. So it went very well.
Very
well.
nice. And thank you for stepping in for that, I know. And I'm glad we had so many volunteers. That was awesome. So, anyone else? City Manager?
I do have a few mayor, members of council. First off, congratulations. Councilor Pickle, look forward to working with you, having worked with you in your capacity at the chamber ambassador. So definitely going to look forward to work with you with regard to your orientation. We have discussed, and I know there were several council members asked about that as a part of this process. So you'll be hearing from either Lori Hill or Cricket more tomorrow, possibly Curtis Green, to get you processing in terms of getting you your email, some of the preliminaries and logistics, taking care of access to the building and so forth. And then after the beginning of the year, we'll start an orientation, which will begin with the city attorney's office, then follow myself, and then a few other departments, and then we'll basically take it from there in terms of making sure that you're up to speed on what's pertinent and so forth, and the different projects and initiatives that are going on. So we look forward to getting that process started. You will get the full council orientation book, so you'll be able to look at that. Will be very helpful until we can actually get scheduled. And as the council members can tell you, really the orientation is, I would anticipate everything's probably 40 to 60 hours. And then it's depending on how much longer you want to make it. Because you'll have opportunities to meet with everyone, and you'll get up to speed very quickly, as any of the council members can share with you that you will.
Look forward to it.
Secondly is that there will be a special meeting on January 7th, which is your next regular meeting in regards to the Gateways application. There will be an item on the agenda for council to take action because the residents are going to be invited, the developer, and so I felt it would be best to have an action item so the folks don't have to come. They can obviously come to me if they choose, but if council take that action rather than having to wait till the general business section. So that'll be something that will be on there. Also, there will be a special city council work session be scheduled for January 14th, which is the off Tuesday. We've got 4 or 5 items for sure that are going to be up there, a couple of updates, and then need some direction from council with regard to a couple of projects. And I also wanted to mention that I announced last week we had a press release is we have a new chief of police, and his name is Lance Arnold. His family was here last week. I do believe they have found a home, and I anticipate that he will start work on January 6th, just a couple of weeks from now. And sometime that week, tentatively, there will be a press conference that we will hold that I can introduce Chief Arnold and his family to Broken Arrow. And obviously, I want to make sure the council members can make it because I want you to be there with me when I make the formal introduction to the community. And we'll also have a few other folks. We'll be inviting a lot of individuals. The Muskogee Creek Nation is going to be invited, along with many of the other chiefs and city managers, council members from other communities. Hopefully, we'll have a large turnout from the department, obviously, with the new chief. And so I'm looking forward to actually making that announcement and welcoming the Arnolds officially to the Broken Arrow community.
I do have one thing that I forgot to mention. So we did have this little thing called State of the City. I was not here because when I made my vacation plans 1.5 years ago, because we went to Disney, I made sure I didn't miss a city council meeting. So I didn't even occur to me I was going to miss State of the City. So if anyone else missed State of the City, you can see it on YouTube and other things. But as usual, you knocked it out of the park, and we do have a lot of great things going on in our city, and I think that's a great time to highlight that. So good job.
I appreciate that. And I will tell you, tomorrow, Councilor Green and Councilor Ford will be doing what I'm calling an extended message about State of the City. So actually, they're going to be doing a short video. And the purpose of this is obviously the chamber, there are a little over 300 people that were there, predominantly chamber folks and then the city team. I think the residents need to have access to this, and so they're going to shoot a video that will provide a link to the State of the City that we can run for a month or so that will allow folks to know exactly where to go so they can see the information and may generate some questions. So,
Perfect. I was going to mention, I got a card from the mayor of Weatherford, Texas regarding our new police chief, and just saying, oh, I just threw his card away. Just letting us know what a great chief we're getting from them, so, and how upset they are that he's no longer with them, but he's done great things in their city. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Chief Arnold brings. So,
yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep.
For sure.
All right, there's no executive session.
one more item there. If I can, I'd like to ask to have permission to put together a letter for the mayor or the council to all the candidates that apply for this position, thanking them, as we did last time, and if there are other opportunities for people to serve with the different boards and commissions, and there may be some that have interest, and I'd just like to close the loop on that, if everyone, council's okay with that.
Absolutely.
Can we add the link for the committees and stuff like that to that, so that.
I'll work with Curtis, and we'll get that.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you,
All
council.
right. No executive session. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Wimpy?
Yes. Call the Broken Arrow Municipal Authority meeting to order. Roll call.
Pickle?
Here.
Green?
Here.
Ford?
Here?
Parks?
Here.
Wimpy?
Here. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Wimpy?
Yes. There are no public hearings, recognitions, presentations, or awards. Item 6 is general authority business. 6A, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of award of the lowest bid to Cherokee Pride Construction and authorize its execution of a construction contract for the 24-inch water transition off of 9th Street. Charlie Bright.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, trustees, and General Manager, and congratulations, Trustee Pickle.
Thank you.
So before you tonight is award of a water line over in the Florence and 9th Street area, Lynn Lane, 111th Street. It's really the completion of one of the last pieces of our southern loop of our transmission system to get water to South Broken Arrow. It's a 24-inch water line, very large line. Gets a lot of water through. One of the key points of this line that just may be of note to you all is with Rocky's team, community development, we've worked really well. There's a developer working on developing that corner currently. One of the things that we knew was of concern is the road, and it curves in that area, you know, and we knew that eventually we would probably need increased right-of-way due to the road concerns and the stormwater on the far side of the road. So we actually worked to deal with the developer for them to give us extra land before they developed it on their property to where it would give us the room to widen that road in the future. We're not ready to widen it today, but in the future. And in consideration, we built some of the water line that they would have had to build. And we're valuing those things and making a trade-off where it's equal value, but it's working out really well for us. So that's part of this project. Ultimately, we received 4 bidders. Cherokee Pride Construction was our lowest bidder for a total of $1,906,000. And I am happy to answer any questions you guys have.
Is your line straighter than that road is there?
Yeah, you know, sometimes we like to get a little creative. It bends a little bit. Yeah.
All right, any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve project number 23080.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Wimpy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you,
is
sir.
that the accurate number? Mine says 24, 16, 20.
This one says 23080.
Okay, I'm looking at this number.
Okay, yeah, that was the item number, and I did say project number.
with you.
No, thanks for checking.
Any remarks by governing body members? City manager?
No, ma'am.
There is no executive session.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Wimpy.
Yes. Call the Broken Arrow Economic Development Authority to order. Roll call.
Pickle,
Here.
Green,
Here.
Ford,
Here?
Parks,
Here.
Wimpy.
Here. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Pickle,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Wimpy.
Yes. There are no public hearings, appeals, presentation, recognitions, or awards. No general authority business. Any remarks by governing body members? City manager?
Just one, Madam Chair. In the council meeting under the consent agenda, there was approval of a PUD with regard to the area that's on Aspen and Tucson. Just want to say thank you for approving that. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion about what's going to be built there. We've had conversations with the developer, and I just wanted to let the council know because there's many comments on social media about what's coming. And I just want to reiterate that while the community may have an idea of what's coming, I mean, the city's not allowed to say exactly what is coming until we get permission from the actual developer. In some cases, not only the developer, but the business itself. And we're in the process right now of, there's a lot of speculation what could be there. And when you look at the plot or the plan, the map, it kind of has certain type of business on there, then people start speculating. And so I can tell you that we're working very closely to be able to provide an announcement, either by a press release or a press conference at the right time to announce a number what we can with regard to the development, just like we did with Aspen Ridge. But I would anticipate next month or in February we should be able to do so, and I'll let the council know and try to get everyone together, because obviously this, once again, a lot of this is happening because of the decision council made to do Aspen Ridge and the other improvements we made down in there. And so it's very exciting, and hopefully in the next month or two we'll be able to share the exciting news with the community.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, we have no executive session.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have motion and a second.
Pickle?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Wimpy?
Yes. Counselor Pickles, don't expect these council meetings
Yeah.
to be this short.
This is very
It's not
rare.
normal.